Alright guys, welcome. Today I've got a pretty special show that a lot of people are wondering about and that many people have created in different ways, and I'm going to put my own interpretation on this show. But this is the marker stand show, so this is actually pretty cool to me because this is one of my first creations, and there's going to be more for them to come, and I'm sure I'm going to come up with more ideas for how to make these, but a lot of different people make them, and they're pretty cool. They pretty much, this is made out of a 1-inch PVC pipe. You can find it at your local shop in 5 feet or 10 feet tubes, and actually works really well for making this stuff. This took about 4 feet and I'd say 10 inches, so 5 feet is pretty good, but you'll notice with my stand it's a lot smaller than a lot of other stands because with a stubby tank and with a G4, which is a very small gun, I've got one of the smallest setups you could get. So a lot of people will want the 10 feet just because they'll be able to make it a little bit longer to fit more types of guns. But mine, this is pretty much the only gun I use, so I don't really need it to fit any other guns. Alright, so let's put my gun aside for a minute. Let's look at the stand altogether. Now this is made very simple. You may notice that I've got the two fittings over here, 90-degree fittings, and they're pretty much right next to each other, barely any space there. Why I did that is because since I'm using a 48-4500 with no tank cover whatsoever, it's very, very skinny tank. So if I would have made it any smaller, it would have probably been able to just slide through here. So what I had to do is I had to put these very close. I put insulation, which I use as padding on here, and zip tied them. Just because it's a very easy way to secure it in place so it's not going to move around. The reason this goes outwards is because if I had these two fittings going inwards to put the T-fitting in the middle, it would not fit because these fittings would be too close together and not be able to fit this 2.5-inch T-fitting. So what I had to do is I had to get these fittings to go outwards and then come back around so I could fit the T-fit and then the top T-fit for my barrel. Also what you'll notice is that I did cut out a little bit of this foam and I put it in the half T-fitting that I put here. The T-fitting is surprisingly not that hard to cut. What you want to do is you want to put a tube in there and you want to slide another tube under that tube to be able to stabilize it. Have it upright, touching the ground or whatever surface you're trying to cut on, and just cut straight down. Once you've done that, then you can take whatever kind of insulation you're using, cut out whatever amount that you need, set it in there, make sure it's good, and then after that you could get a hot glue gun, or some people like to use tape, or you could probably even figure out how to rubber band it in there. I just used hot glue, works really well, it's not coming off or anything. You just put it in there, insert your insulation, and then wait a little bit, okay? So this design, very simple, cost me probably a little bit less than 10 bucks, and it's very handy. Keeps your gun very small position actually, and it's not going to keep it scratched. I'll show you guys the difference in size of room it takes. So this is how a gun would normally sit, and it takes right now about 2 or 3 square feet of room just to set this gun down. But then look at this. This is all the room that this takes. I got room for tools and everything I need here, and then the gun just fits nice snug in there, and then the barrel can even hang off the table or whatever surface you guys are working with at the field, because the barrel doesn't add much weight to the gun, so it's not like it's going to make the gun tip over or anything. When building your own gun stand, you want to remember a couple things. My specifications will not necessarily fit your gun. If you have a shorter barrel, sometimes you want it to be closer, or if you have a longer barrel, you might want this T further out so that there's not so much weight out here, if that's a problem for you. If you have a longer tank, you're definitely going to want to extend this back part over here. So as you can see, mine is pretty much at the very limit where it's not touching this back part, but I like it because it's very small. If you have a bigger gun, you're going to want to put this T section connection over here. You're going to want to put it taller so that your barrel isn't going to be like this, or it's not going to be too tall. But once again, with the new opportunities that this brings, with this setup, you could actually raise it up like this. That way, if you have a taller gun, this could fit perfectly. Or you could actually make it aim downwards by configuring it like so. So this is for an even smaller setup. But a lot of people online when making these will tell you to glue everything together. I respect that because it's structurally intact and they don't want it falling apart. But I'll be the one to tell you this: if you just dry fit it together and you put it pretty nice and snug, it's not gonna fall apart. I mean, this is not just made for toys, it's actually made for plumbing, so it's not gonna fall apart. This is nice, structurally intact, and it's gonna be able to hold your gun. Even if you're shooting a Tippmann, nothing against Tippmanns, they just seem to be on the heavier side, okay? Nice thing about this is you can easily carry it onto the field. You just simply fold this neck down, and then this kind of like a little handle, so you can easily carry this around, or you can even attach a strap to it, put it on your back, or put this into your gear bag, whatever you want to do. And then you get out to the field, pop this up, make sure that's straight, and then bam, markers on there, stable, not going to move around. Somebody bumps into it, oh, not even a problem. Earthquake, not even going to fall over. Yeah, I know that's not probable, earthquake while you're playing paintball, but crappy things always seem to happen to people who are not ready to handle them. So if you guys want the exact specifications of this, let me know. Send me a private message or comment on my channel. I'll give you the exact measurements. Otherwise, I could give you tips on building your own and maybe how to improve it. Also, this has many ways of becoming a team gun rack. As you can see, there's room to put another tube over here with insulation and putting another one of these T barrel stands in this area. So you can add an infinite amount of gun stands and link them all together with plus and T sections at these corners. So by putting all these together, you're actually going to save piping, you're going to save on corners, and you're going to save on space because they're all going to be put together. So if you have a 3-man or 5-man squad, it's really easy to make these. For a 3-man, it's probably going to cost you like 20 bucks. 5-man, it could cost you like 30, 35 bucks. And it's really nice to hold all your markers in one place, very nice. And then after that, people sometimes even go crazy. I've seen people add a tube that goes upright to hold their mask, or I've seen people have a squeegee holder, or special places to put a pod. I've even seen people that have actually a place to put their pods so they could put paint in there really easy. So guys, go ahead and get creative. This is one of the simplest designs you can do. But if you like my design, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. And there you go.